The letter K is not an appropriate response in a professional environment. I absolutely cannot stand when managers say this. Had to use some vacation time for an emergency with my wife. I call my boss and explain to him the situation. Let him know I'll need to use vacation time for today and that I'll be back tomorrow. After 3 or 4 sentences of explanation, I get K followed by silence. What the fuck? I tell you my wife has a medical emergency I need to deal with and I get a 1-letter response? How insensitive can you be? This is the same guy that asked me what I was working on for the day when I called him from the hospital as my wife was in labor. K. In this situation, K, I approve your use of vacation. Sounds like you are busy. I won't hold you up. That is why I use KK. Sounds like they let you do what you had to without fuss. Sounds great. Why say more than necessary? They are your boss, not your friend. They aren't there to emotionally connect with you. They approved your request. Potassium. What a non-issue to get upset about. I hate the faux sheen of professionalism we need to pantomime for whatever dumb reason. Be a normal person, not a walking LinkedIn post. It seems like, at least in my experience, when your boss busts out the K, it's usually in response to an employee wanting something they do not want to give them. You know, like time off or more money or a life or something. It's always some weird passive-aggressive thing, like an aggravated sigh. At least he didn't reject the time. Hey, that's a plus. Always remember, and I learned this the hard way, your boss is not your friend. They are not your family. If there is ever a situation where it's your ass or theirs, your ass is done. I wouldn't read into it for now. Against the grain of our overwhelmingly oppressive capitalist system. He's offered you the time you asked for. Maybe he's sincere, and maybe he's not. But many people would instead offer some reason why granting your request is infeasible. Take the win and move on. I'd prefer that over having to explain myself beyond it's an emergency. This is the least AntiWork complaint I've heard in here in a long time. Why is this on our AntiWork? Originally thought it was a post from someone who got lectured by an overbearing coworker. Instead, it's just an overbearing coworker seeking justification for their outrage. K. Who cares how he responds so long as you get what you asked for? Personally, I would just take the win since you didn't get the typical argument or write-up. I am confused. You asked for leave to deal with an emergency. And he said okay. He did not question you, push back or demand any explanation. He gave you exactly what you asked for without a fight. Maybe your boss was busy? It would have been nice for him to hope your wife is okay. But your boss is not your friend. This is about all you should be expecting. If he gave you the leave without question, I'd call that a win. Did you want him to grill you with a dozen questions when you're trying to handle an emergency? That's a better response than him denying your time off and firing you. I'll take it. KK. This is the most boomer post I've seen on this sub in a while. It's fine in text message, e.g. Teams, Slack or whatever. I wouldn't like to see it in an email unless there is already a relaxed relationship with the specific colleague. IDK man. I wouldn't get that upset about it. They can be grumpy about you having a life outside of work all they want. If they're still letting you take the vacation hours, then I couldn't care less. Hey, passive aggressive they sound in texts. If anything, I'd choose to perceive K as my manager being chill about it. Haha. Bro, I just give thumbs up in our team's chats, rolling on the floor laughing. Not everyone is interested in texting long dragged out garbage conversations with you, K. Better than no, isn't it? Somebody's drunk the were a family Kool-Aid. Wait, so you asked for time off and his response was K with no pushback? Sounds like you got literally what you wanted. K. I think you're overacting. It's just shorthand. And no other comment was needed or required. You could argue that the manager is rude if they don't give some quasi-fake sincerity. But you probably don't really care. I understand how this could be detrimental to your relationship with this individual. But the fact that you got an immediate affirmative response and no pushback is actually great. I'd take the win. What's it like always being the victim? I imagine it is exhausting. He acknowledged your emergency. What line of work are you in where interoffice sensitivity is part of the job description? Also, you go on to rail on him for asking too many questions for another of your wife's medical issues. You can't have it both ways. Had a boss who would always bang on about professionalism. Insisted on ties and tucked shirts and how employees need to set an example for each other with their conduct. Anyway, every single time I provided information solutions responses thanks. In my field, we are very busy with our customers' bank and sometimes a message will pop up and I will reply. With K. Usually that's something small like I'm going to the bathroom. Those who ask why they message THST. It's so we know where everyone is in case more help is needed either on the line, drive-through or in an office. I reply K or thumbs up to friends family when I am busy dirty hands with customer having convo so they know I have read and I agree approve concur accept the side quest. Who cares? Sounds like your boss was okay with you taking the time off you needed and didn't push back at all. Bad text etiquette isn't a reason to get upset if you get exactly what you want. There are posts all the time where the boss let anyone up for any family emergency. Although it may seem insensitive, what did you want him to reply with? I understand, go be with her. And witness the miracle of birth. It's a big moment and rightfully so for you. Not your manager. The second one is poorly timed, I'll give you that, but your work still needs to be done and he's making sure it gets done in your absence. The world doesn't stop for someone else's childbirth. Dude, get over it. K is an abbreviation, the colloquial OK that has no absolute definition but has become almost universally accepted at a connotation in the positive. Sometimes used to indicate some has heard and understood. WHWTU said. You are tilting at windmills if you think this will change. And more than that, you are causing yourself aggravation by choosing to be annoyed at something so ubiquitous. If you are not happy with K, then simply ask for clarification. So to be clear, you are mad that your boss didn't question you? Didn't ask for more explanation or what work needed to be done? I'm confused why you think this is bad. You problem. What are you expecting them to say? You said what needed to be said. They didn't take up any more of your time. Go take care of your wife. So you want unfelt platitudes? Your boss does not care about your wife. He let you do what you needed to. K is a hell of a lot better than demanding your PTO request immediately. If this was an email, I agree that is pretty lazy, not even adding an O. If this was a text message, perfectly acceptable response emo. Would you prefer he pretended to care? I'd take straight up K over a faux bleeding heart any day. I agree. I always find K to be very dismissive, or I interpret as the person is annoyed with the information. Why use more word when few word do trick? No, but really, what the hell did you expect him to do? He acknowledged your issue. That's the full extent of what he had to do. You are not the center of the universe. He's got other shit going on.